Friday, October 11th, 2019, Maneco 64, home of alternative economics and contrarian views. This morning I want to talk about gold in all major currencies. I'm going to use a chart provided by Saxo Bank and Bloomberg. I'll reference that chart to show you how holding fiat currency or from any national government is a losing proposition. Of course, you need to have fiat currency in your bank account to function on a monthly basis to pay your bills. If you pay your bills through your bank, like I do. Some people don't, of course, but I'll just show you this. For those of you who are able to save spare fiat money, which is difficult to do these days, I'll show you why it's very important that you do so. The other thing I would say, yes, the gold and silver market are very volatile. We're seeing loads of up and downs. Many of us think gold should be a lot higher, but we should thank all these shenanigans because it gives us time to keep stacking, so to speak. And with that in mind, I've used two of my favorite coins. One is an Australian silver ounce that was actually sent to me by one of the viewers with a kangaroo. I've used that. And I used one of my favorites, which I've had for years. I think they came out in 2007 and 8. The 1 ounce Buffalo coins for the US. I used that to start a campaign on Teespring with a new mug. It says, become your own central bank, keep stacking, don't be left holding the bag, right? And it's got a nice picture of both of those coins. If you're interested, you can go below in the description, go into the Teespring store. I'm not sure if it's already posted below through YouTube, but if you go into my store, you will find it there. I'll put a link below to the Teespring store as well, aside from the YouTube banner. Anyway, there's a few things going on with the markets. I'll start with the markets today and then go back to why you should think, in my opinion. And this is what I do. You need to do your homework. I can't do things for you. No one can do things for me. It's like if you wanted to start playing golf, you have to try it yourself and work at it. And that's what I've done since I started playing golf when I was 15. Yes, you need a bit of instruction from people, but you have to really work at it yourself, and you have to keep doing it. And it's the same thing with precious metals. If you don't own precious metals, physical gold or silver, you need to first learn which ones you should get, what you should look for, and then you should do your homework, where you can get it, right? All those things. And don't start hitting a driver. Start with little shots, right? Buy 1 or 2 coins and see if you like them. Hold them for a while, and then you progress. That's learn the fundamentals first, and then put it into practice. That's what I say. For those of you who are in the UK, of course, I do have a promo code with Gold Investments in the City of London. It's a maneco 64. You get a 0.5% discount when you buy physical gold or silver from them. They've been around since 1981, and it's a family-run business, and I've done business with them since 2002. So the markets, well, yesterday was very interesting and not surprising. Stock markets rallied quite a bit on hopes of trade deals and stuff. It looks like the markets rallied initially just because Trump tweeted, and then also the fact that Trump is going to meet the head of the Chinese delegation today. Previously, it was thought that they're going to be in the U.S. for just a day, the Chinese delegation yesterday, and then leave. But the market saw it as a good sign that Trump is going to meet the guy today. So we'll have to wait and see. Looking at the stock market, though, still no momentum. On a long-term basis since the beginning of 2018, you can see in this chart, there's no momentum to the upside. Recently, we've had the momentum on trade here, but we're nowhere near the all-time highs. Will a very good trade deal give the market the upward momentum for it to break out and make new highs? We'll have to wait and see. Some people are more cynical. They think that this is going to keep going on and on, these trade negotiations, up until maybe close to the election next year, and then President Trump will announce a trade deal before the election and help him, right? Who knows? There's also some news that just come out, and I have to give credit to Greg Mannarino. He thinks we're going to keep seeing these things. You can call it whatever you want. He calls it false flag. I do too. Just came out less than an hour ago. Explosion on Iranian oil tanker off Saudi coast, in the Red Sea, right? Not in the Persian Gulf, and that's helped oil prices higher. And what Greg said is partly true. The stock market and the oil price seem to trade right now together. When oil prices drop, stock market goes up, and vice versa. So let's look at the markets then. It's 8:11 a.m. We've got spot gold up $6.50 at 1,500.5. So we're just at 1,500. Range has been 1491 to 1501. So it's up almost 0.5%. Silver is up 1% or 17 cents at 1767. Range has been 1739 to 1771. So we're near the highs. Yeah, and the stock market is up 0.5%. 128 points. The Dow 26,633. S&P 2954, up 0.5% as well. And the NASDAQ 100 future is up 0.2% at 77.95. The pound yesterday had a huge day, up more than 2%. Of course, that will affect the price of gold in pounds. That will make it go down more than the price of gold in dollars. Am I concerned? No. This is just on the back of Brexit negotiations. It looks like there is hope that Boris Johnson and the Irish Prime Minister have come to an agreement, even though I've read from the Irish Prime Minister that there's a lot that could happen still for these negotiations. So we'll have to see. Right now, sterling is still firm. It's up 0.1% at 124.50. Yesterday, the low was on 122. We'll see how long this lasts. Long-term picture for pounds, I still think the only way for this country to carry its massive debts, not only public, national debt, but also corporate and private debts, is to keep debasing the currency. There's no other way out. So I would stay out of all fiat currencies, as I said earlier, including the pound. Euro is up 0.1 at 110.20. Dollar is unchanged versus the yen, Japanese yen, just below 108. And the dollar is unchanged against the Chinese yuan at 710. Oil. Crude oil, WTI is up 2%, 54.60, up $1. Brent is up $1.22 or 2.06%, just above 60. Bond market yields have gone up a bit. We are at 165 in the 10-year, and the 2 years at 153. We'll have to see how long that lasts. As long as there's optimism on the trade front and the stock market is going up, it looks like bonds could back up a little more. We'll have to wait and see now. Before I go into the performance of gold and all the other fiat currencies, and why you should be out of fiat currencies. I'm going to talk a little bit about these new contracts on the CME, which of course owns COMEX now. So it is technically CME. They're the Shanghai gold futures. There's going to be two that are looking to be launched on Sunday, this Sunday, Sunday night. One is denominated in Chinese yuan, and it's the unit is 1,000 grams or a kilo. The other one is denominated in dollars, and it's the size is 32.15 troy ounces, which is 1,000 grams, right? It's just that Americans look at things in ounces, Chinese look at it in grams. One is in US dollars. Both are not deliverable. They're what they call financially settled. Is this a bad sign? Does this mean that Chinese financial institutions are going to start manipulating the gold market? Maybe, but I wanted to see why they started this contract. Why would you call a contract a Shanghai gold exchange contract that is not deliverable on COMEX? You might as well call it the Timbuktu contract, right? But I found a story from beginning of September on Reuters. It says CME to launch 2 new Shanghai gold futures contracts in October. So I'll read a little bit about what it says here. CME Group Inc. said on Wednesday it would launch 2 new Shanghai gold futures contracts on October 14th, pending regulatory approvals. And I can tell you that it's still pending, and it's still dependent on whether everything is going to go through. There is a warning here on the CME website. So let's continue here. It says the 2 new financially settled contracts will be denominated in US dollars and renminbi, the exchange operator said. The contract sizes will be 1 kilogram, with the US dollar contract priced in troy ounces and the CNH contract priced in grams. And both contracts will be listed on and subject to the rules and regulations of the COMEX, CME said. Additionally, that's what's important. Additionally, the Shanghai Gold Exchange will launch new T plus N contracts on October 14th, which would be linked to COMEX Gold Futures Asia's spot price and denominated in yuan, CME said. So I think what's going on here, these contracts are going to be fungible to the physical contract on the Shanghai Gold Exchange. And why are there 2 contracts, one in dollars, one in yuan? Well, I think because Chinese institutions in the US or abroad will be able to trade in dollars, but they will also be able to go into yuan, right? So that's what I think is going to happen. These contracts are going to be fungible. I need to look into that. Into the Shanghai Gold Exchange. They even launched a new contract there as well. So that's what I think is happening. It's to maybe give Chinese financial institutions, or maybe even Western financial institutions, access to the Shanghai market. Whether that's going to help the bullion banks and the financial institutions in China manipulate the gold price, I don't know, but that's how I see it. So to finish off, a lot of people focus on the short-term movements of fiat currencies. Like, for example, yesterday, British pound was up 2%. Oh, should we be in British pounds? If there's a good deal to leave the the EU, a Brexit deal. If the UK doesn't leave without a deal, should we pile onto the pound? Or, the ECB is going to stop the QE that it announced. Should we go into the euro? Oh, the dollar index is moving up. I think this is just a waste of time, as I've said before. And I've made videos in the past, and I'll probably make another one in the future about how fiat currencies are all sinking, and they're sinking at different rates versus precious metals. Precious metals, they have been money for thousands of years. they've been the best measure of store of value for thousands of years, and they will continue to be. And why is that? Because they're money, and because they can't be created out of thin air, right? They can't be typed into existence, right? So here we are. I thank Saxo Bank and Bloomberg for this. So you can see here, this is from 2001 to 2019, and it shows you gold returns in different currencies for the last 19 years. You can see and these are the major currencies. You can see that we've had a 10.7% annualized return. Yes, there have been years where gold has gone down. In dollars, we've seen gold go down in 2013. That was the bad year for gold. It was down about 30%, well, 24% on average, these currencies. What would change this? What would make the fiat currencies start outperforming gold and do it consistently? Well, I don't see it in the horizon right now. The way that would happen would be for the national currencies to offer an alternative in terms of getting a good return, which we're not getting. Many of these currencies now we're getting negative interest rates or zero. The other thing that would need to happen is a complete reform of the banking system, so people would feel comfortable holding these national fiat currencies with the banks. As it's now, holding fiat currencies in the bank is like lending unsecured to these banks. So yeah, I personally don't see this improving, and that's why I'm going to keep stacking myself. It's up to you to decide to do your homework, as I said earlier. So if you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit the like button. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, think about subscribing. Make sure you share this video far and wide as well. You can also follow me on Twitter, Steemits, and on DTube. I wish you all a great day, a great weekend, and I'll talk to you later. Take care. Bye.